Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your grim grinning host Blake, and yeah, I got a Darth Vader helmet. I bought it on a whim. I walked into GameStop and I saw it. I don't regret it. I might regret it later, but as of right now, I don't regret it. It was a good buy. I thought it was fun. I just need to get his lightsaber now. I just need to go to Disney and get his lightsaber. You know what? Let's do it this weekend. I'm just kidding. No, this weekend is solely for Halloween Horror Nights, but we will get into that because that will be the biggest chunk of the video today. This is another one of those sit down videos where, I just talk to you guys, update you guys a little bit in between all the craziness of the other videos. So the first thing I kind of want to just go ahead and say is I want to thank you, because even though I'm not like, over here with a lot of subscribers, with a lot of views, with a lot of likes and stuff, seeing like some of my videos get over 100 views it makes me happy. Every YouTuber starts off at 0, and I started off at 0, and I have 20 subscribers now. That's 20 more than I had when I first started. I mean, it's awesome that you guys are helping me in any little way possible. Just by clicking on this video, you've already helped me. It seems very small to people, but if you put it into perspective, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it was over 100 on my Universal video. I'm growing. That's the thing, and I'll take one subscriber as growth, because no matter what, I'm getting to a point that I want to be at, and it's all thanks to you. And I could stay, honestly. I'm not in this for any type of financial gain. I'm not. I know it's a possibility, but I'm not in it for this. I'm not in it for that. I am in it because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy living my life to the fullest and having fun and bringing you guys along with me. If at some point in any of my videos I make somebody smile, or I make somebody's day, or I make them happy in any way, I've already done exactly what I wanted to do. So from me to you, to anybody who's ever watched this, who feels inspired by anything that I say, do, or even if I just make you smile for less than a second, I'm glad that you stuck around, and I'm glad that you're here, and I thank you. And I thank anybody who's ever supported me. Popping off for me, TikTok right here. Go check it out. You're a grim grinning host right here. I posted a couple videos, and and obviously they're not like getting millions of views, but hey, one of mine hit over, I think, almost 3,000 views, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I don't want to talk your ear off about this, but again, I can't say it enough. I thank anybody who's ever supported me, and I thank those along the way who have given me advice, who have given me kind words, anything like that. So again, one last time, thank you. Before we get into the big brunt of the video, the title of the video, I have one thing other than that, or actually I have a couple things that I want to show you. I got some new Funko Pops, okay? I love Funko Pops. You guys already know this. And even if they're, not like insanely rare or whatever, I still want to show them off. So I got Zeb from Rebels, which I'm pretty sure I probably have told you guys this before, but in terms of Star Wars, Rebels is my favorite. Like, show, movie, everything, it's my favorite. And then the other Funko Pop that I got was Chrissy. I got Chrissy from Stranger Things. I just thought that was really cool. They also had Vecna, and I was like, do I want that? On top of the costume that I got at Spirit Halloween in the last video, I also got this little bad boy right here. Actually, in my car, I got one of these last year, but I think it was a Universal one, and I ended up getting E.T. with his little glowing finger, and I hooked him onto an air freshener, and it's just been hanging in my off of my rearview mirror. But as much as I love ET, and I'm gonna keep him, he's not getting thrown away or anything, but I think it's time. It's gonna be a yearly tradition. I'll get one of these, and he will go on my rear view mirror for the whole year. And the next year, I'll do it again. I've had this for almost a week. I'm recording this Thursday night. and I bought this Saturday, so, or was it Sunday? Let's see what's inside of this. I'm doing a little unboxing. So let's get this thing open. Usually they have like a little slit or something that maybe I'm not seeing. Maybe it's really small. Is the slit in the room with us? Okay, hold on, I might need to grab some scissors. I was too lazy to get up and go and grab the scissors from the living room, but I do have this Percy Jackson Riptide necklace that I like to wear, and this tip is pretty sharp, so I'm just gonna puncture a hole and then rip it open. So let's see. I'm excited. First off, before I do this, let me go over the choices, because I made the mistake whenever I opened up this Minnie Mouse Bitty Pop, which you can see me opening that on my TikTok. Remember, Grim Grinning Host? Your Grim Grinning Host. I always do that. It's, gotta remember, gotta differentiate. I opened that before reading off the stuff, and I forgot. So here are our options. We have Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, Dracula, The Invisible Man, The Wolf Man, The Phantom of the Opera, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Okay, and here's what they look like. There you go. You can pause the video and look and see. Let me try to get this little kink out for you guys. Yeah, there you go. All right, and then there's also 2 exclusives. So let's see. I'm actually kind of hoping for the two exclusives, because that'd be awesome. But let's see. All right, let's do this. Wasted enough time. Boom! Look at that. Look at that. I don't want to look yet. I don't want to look. Here, I'm not going to look, and I'm going to open it. My eyes are completely shut. I'm trying not to look. Who is it? I can't tell if you guys. It's just, which way is the facing forward? I can't tell. Here's the first side. I don't know if this is the front. Here's the back, and in 3, 2, 1, I got the Mummy. Oh, heck yeah. I like Mummy. I like the Mummy. It's my favorite okay, hold on. I tend to do this thing where I say something's my favorite, and then I turn around and say another thing's my favorite. What I mean to say is Mummy is one of my favorite rides at Universal. It is not my favorite. This thing right here is going up in my car for the next year. So, yeah, okay. Now we can get into the beef, the meat of this video. I'm going to be ranking the Halloween Horror Nights houses on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm not going to go like first place, second place and stuff, because that I feel like that's a little too, a little too much. I want to keep things brief, because this is a pre-ranking. Let me just go ahead and clarify that. I am leaving for Halloween Horror Nights tomorrow, Friday night. That is whenever I'm heading there. So obviously I've not been in any of the houses, but I'm going based off of what I've heard and what I've seen from other people, and I'm going to do a pre-ranking, and I'm going to follow this video up with the Halloween Horror Nights video. Your next video is going to be my Halloween Horror Nights video, because you won't see me this weekend. Speaking of weekends, let me just go ahead and say this before I forget. Because of Halloween Horror Nights this weekend and Halloween itself and preparation for Halloween, I'm going to have to take every single weekend that I can to build all of our stuff for Halloween. And obviously can't do that this weekend because we're going to be out of town. Pretty much from waking moment to going to sleep and all the in between, I'm going to be over at Cam's house building our carnival up until Halloween, because if we can't do it on the weekdays, because Cam, and I both have a day job, and there's time constraints and stuff like that, it's just we wouldn't be able to do it. So we can only do it on the weekend, and we did the math, and we only had in total less than a week to do it. So all my time's gonna be dedicated to that on the weekends. You guys will get videos of that, but the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I did have big plans for the spooky season on the podcast. It's really hard to do the podcast on a weekday because I get home pretty late in the day from my day job, and I would have to watch a movie and then record a podcast, and I don't like doing it separate days. You guys saw in the Harry Potter one, we were all over the place because we took a couple of days to watch it, and Cam wouldn't be able to do it, and I want to watch scarier movies, and Caroline's not a big fan of scary movies, so it's a lot. So we will have November. No, I know it's a little off. November will be the spooky season, but I will have a Halloween episode. I will try to have one. I will try to have a Halloween ticket booth episode, as well as a Halloween video after Halloween. Let's get into this ranking. Like I said, this is a pre-ranking on a scale of 1 to 10 for each house, and at the end I will tell you obviously what my most hyped house is and my least hyped house is, and you'll get to see that based off of the rankings. But I got them right here. Let's just get into this. Starting off, we have The Quiet Place. I believe that this is The Quiet Place Day 1, so it'd be the newest movie. I haven't seen any of them, but I really want to. So I can't rank this based off of if I think this will be close to the movies or not, because I'm not too sure. But I'm going to rank it based off of how I would feel about this house or these houses and what I feel like. And maybe I'm not ranking based off of the scariest or anything, just in terms of enjoyment and stuff like that. So Quiet Place, I gave it a 6 out of 10. And I feel like it's going to be one. I feel like the IP houses, I don't, except for like maybe a few, most of them have been pretty good. I know, despite some people who might say that IPs aren't as good, I actually enjoyed most IPs. There's only a handful of ones I didn't really enjoy. Chucky from last year, but aside from that, I didn't really like The Weeknd. I thought it was all right, but Up next, we have Ghostbusters. I have this at a 6 out of 10 as well. Sort of the same thing. I haven't seen the Ghostbusters, like the newer ones. Again, I want to, but as much as I love movies, I'm watching so much stuff right now. It's just kind of hard to make time for it. I will get around to it though. But I do like Ghostbusters, the original. I have this at a 6 and not higher because I'm not sure how scary it will be, and I do tend to enjoy the scarier ones more. But if the set design is really good in this, maybe it can go higher. Maybe. Rounding out the IPs, we have Insidious, and I have this as a 10 out of 10. And I'm only saying that based off of the prior claims that I've made of people saying this is like the best house that Howling Horror Nights has ever done. It has been really hyped up, and I promise you I will be so disappointed if this is not the best. And I know it's bad to go in there with super, super, super high expectations, but what can I tell you guys? Everybody's been hyping this freaking house up to me, and I'm so excited. It's supposedly the scariest house ever. Speaking of Universal Studios classic monsters, we have Eternal Bloodlines. I have this as an 8 out of 10 because they really have done, to me at least, they did pretty well with all the other monsters in the past, those houses, and I thoroughly enjoyed those. I really did. So I have this as an 8 out of 10, which I think is tied for second. No, that's not true. It's tied for third place. Next we have Monstruos. I have this as a 4 out of 10 simply for the fact that I haven't heard a lot about it. I'm not really diving deep into what each house is. I usually like to go through it first, and then kind of then read up on like all the lore. And I know that's super backwards, but I kind of like to go in not knowing anything first, and then whenever I'm reading like the lore back, I can be like, oh, I noticed that. It kind of makes me feel good because I like to notice things first, especially like if I'm watching a movie, I can sense a plot twist and catch it. And I'm like, oh, and then you get some sort of sense of accomplishment afterwards, especially if it feels like a good plot twist. Similar to this, where I like to go through and maybe I can catch on to some of the lore, and then whenever I read it and like understand like what the house is supposed to represent, I can be like, oh, okay, I was picking up on that. So, because sometimes it's a little harder to pick up. After that, we have Slaughter Cinema 2. I think that the idea for Slaughter Cinema is awesome. Like I've told you guys before, I think that the idea of putting together a bunch of like mini houses to see which one does the best within that, and then having that come back as a bigger house is a awesome idea. And I like movies. I've always wanted to go to a drive-in. I've never been, so technically this will be my first one. Ooh. Nah. I've a 7 out of 10 because it's a good idea, but we'll see if it's executed properly. If not, it could go down, but I feel like this is a nice middle ground because it is getting pushed up by the fact that I like movies and the fact that I like the idea. So it's obviously not a 6 or a 50-50 for me. It's going to be a 7, and that's where it's going to stay as of right now. After that, we have ranked worst on my list. I have not heard good things about the Museum Deadly Exhibits. I have it ranked as a 2 out of 10. Like I said, out of everybody that I've heard gone through this, I've heard that it's not that it's like terrible, but that it's not as good. So I mean, I don't really have that much to say about it, other than it just doesn't have a good reputation. So this is my least hyped house. Hopefully I have a hot take on that because I want every house to be amazing. The other half that is tied for third place is Major Sweets Candy Factory. I like the idea of like a candy factory and the field trip, and this one I do know the lore. There's a field trip, there's kids, they eat the candy, they go crazy and try to kill you. That's at least what I gathered. It makes me think of like Willy Wonka, and I love Willy Wonka. You know, I love the Wonka movie, I love the original, I like the Johnny Depp one. I think it's so funny that it just makes me feel like Willy Wonka gone crazy, stuff like that. So I have it as an 8 out of 10, tied with Bloodlines. We'll see. I've seen the facade, like the beginning of it, and it looks awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, this is where the god-awful ride of Fast and Furious Supercharged is. This is where that is, and usually those houses are but as of right now, it's an 8 out of 10. So we'll see where it lands afterwards. In second place, we have Goblin's Feast with a 9 out of 10. I love D&D. I've told you guys this before. Goblin's Feast, they got goblins, little goblins, and they're feasting on people. And I just think that's so funny. And D&D has goblins, and it just makes me think of fantasy, and I like fantasy. I love fantasy stuff. So I just feel like Halloween Horror Nights mixed with fantasy makes me think of D&D all mushed up together. It's just Last but absolutely not least, because as of right now that's Deadly Exhibits, we have Triplets of Terror with a 4 out of 10. This is another one that I don't really know too much about. I've heard that the story is there's triplets and they're celebrating the anniversary of killing their parents or something like that. I'm not exactly too sure. I haven't really done a lot of research on it. But it just sounds basic to me. Maybe we'll see. Once I know the lore and all that, I'll do research before I do my next video, and I'll talk about it. And maybe once I have a greater understanding of the house and all the houses at all, my rankings will change. But as of right now, it's at a 4 out of 10. So just to recap: Quiet Place 6 out of 10, Ghostbusters 5 out of 10, Insidious 10 out of 10, Bloodlines 8 out of 10, Monstruos 4 out of 10, Slaughter Cinema 2 7 out of 10, Deadly Exhibits 2 out of 10, Major Sweets 8 out of 10, Goblin's Feast 9 out of 10, and Triplets 4 out of 10. And that leaves us with Insidious being the most hyped and Deadly Exhibits being the least hyped. Honestly, I can't wait for this trip. I can't wait for this trip to be over, not in the sense that I just want to get it over with, but in the sense that I can't wait to have this video for you guys. I'm super excited. As I told you before, it's not going to be like my other theme park videos where I brought the whole setup and brought the mics, brought the tripod, and walked around and talked and stuff like that. Simply for the fact that I'm only going to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not going to the park during the day. This is a friend trip, so I'm going to be spending time with them during the day and majority of the night during Halloween Horror Nights. But I will record things with you. I do want to try some snacks. I do want to give some like reactions after I get out, like, you know, show you guys how I felt about certain things. So I'll record while I'm there, but the video part of it is going to be when I come back. I'll be right here and I'll recap the trip and I'll tell you guys how I rank the houses afterwards. And I'm just excited to get this out to you guys, and I'm just excited to go. So I've actually got to get packed because, again, I'm leaving tomorrow. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's another chill video. When I come back, we'll have more building the carnival. The ticket booth is already, I think it's pretty much done. We just got to add a few finishing touches, and then we've got to build a couple other things, such as like a bear cage. Ooh. And a few other things we got to, you know, layer in there. But it's all come together. The vision's there. I'm super excited. It could be the best Halloween yet. This could be the best Halloween Horror Nights yet. I'm so freaking pumped. I don't think I've ever been more pumped for a Halloween season before, ever. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I've been your grim grinning host, Blake. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I'm adding that one in because, you know, I eventually want to do like a Q&A sort of thing. And I want to hear from you guys. So if you have any questions for me, about the channel, about what my plans are, anything, as long as it's appropriate, I'll put it into maybe a future Q&A. And I also just want to hear your thoughts. If you have like any rankings that you guys want to show, then I'll like to see those. Tell me what you guys feel about the Halloween Horror Nights houses. No spoilers, please. I'm just kidding. And yeah, make sure to share as well. Share with your friends, your family, and any loved ones. And if you know somebody whose favorite character is Darth Vader, share with them as well. As always, like I said, I've been your Grim Grinning host, Blake, for the second time, maybe the third, I don't know. And I will see you guys in the next one.